Yo, Jazz, we ready to go? Let's get it. I want you to say it with me on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Life of Bliss.
Let's go.
Don't let this moment pass you. Grab you a pen in the pad. Life is moving too fast. Slow down, live you a life of bliss. Don't let this moment pass you. Grab you a pen in the pad. Life is moving too fast. Slow down, live you a life of bliss.
Yo. Welcome to another episode of Life of Bliss. Remember, when I say that, I want you all to say it with me. Welcome to another episode of Life of Bliss. That would be so great if you see me, if you pumped your fist in the air and said, Life of, that'd be great. Okay, anyhow, just want to shout out real quick, Possibility Studios, powered by Paradigm Shift. We have Santiago and Jazz in spirit here on the ones and twos. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. And we're going to jump right into this episode. Actually, before we do that, I got to say, if you don't have the book, go get the book. Amazon, hit up through the notes sections, find Derek Sire on social media, go to lifeofbliss.com. I will get it to you. I want you to be a part of the family. Okay. Fusa, breath, jump into the episode. This one is called Errands. Errands. I gotta run some errands. But before I jump into the episode, I gotta jump back and give you some backstory. So I have a friend that always says I have errands or I have an errand to run. And for some reason, it always pops up in social situations. And so I began to think that maybe she was using this term to get out of whatever she was in because it was awkward or it was weird or she was tired or she wanted to go or whatever it was. But because I didn't understand errands, I began to, just kind of question the process. I questioned the word. I questioned, like, when she would pull the errand card, I'd be like, where you got to go? What are you doing? You don't want to hang out with us? You got something you do? Can I wait till later? I just began to grill her. Why are you always saying you got errands? You got so much stuff to do. And for her, she was pretty private about, these said errands, which made me suspect even more so that she did not really have errands, that she was trying to just get out of this situation. Now, whether she had errands or not, I think what I began to settle on is that when things got awkward, when things started to take a turn, she would use this errand punchline to just kind of get out of stuff. And whether I believe that or not, it's what I believe. But I begin to turn that onto myself because, I'm a very reflective dude. When things pop up, I don't just take it at face value. I try not to just let it ride. I usually go the next level in, and sometimes they can be exhausting, but I'm a thinker. I'm an overthinker. I stay in that lane, that mood, that zone. And so I begin to think, are there things that I do that allow me to pull the plug when things get tough? Or what is my errand? Do I have an air quote errand? And I do. I didn't even notice it. Until I started evaluating the way that I enter and leave hard situations. Now, currently, I tend to lean in to those conversations a little bit more. When I feel myself beginning to sit back or withdraw or get a little quieter, when I can feel the tension rise up in my belly, and when I start to feel this knot form in when I start to feel uncomfortable, instead of running away and running an errand, air quote errand, I lean in now. But I didn't always used to be that way. I was the guy that used humor as a way to get out of those situations. For sometimes people, they use humor or they laugh, or it's, the way that they respond to traumatic things. I know some people who don't know how to respond, so they laugh or they giggle or they smile. We see it all the time. I was one of those people. I'm still kind of working through that process, but I'm willing to admit it a little bit more now. But I used to use humor a lot to exit tough situations. I used to say, I'll think about it, or let me get back to you in order to get out of the moment. But I had no real desire to go back to the situation. This was my errand. I used to also be the type of person that would just agree. I'm like, you know what, you're right. You're right, I'm wrong, you're right, that's my bad. I would agree just to get out of the situation. Now, why am I bringing this up? Because I know that there's somebody out there that's listening that wants to lean into a conversation, that wants to lean into a moment, but does not know how. And in fact, you too, sir, ma'am, person, have an errand to run. When things get tough, you have an errand. You make up this fictitious reason to get out of having the heart talk or having the conversation. And I want to discourage you. I want to encourage you to get out of that. I want to discourage you from running, and I want to encourage you to stay. Why is this important? Now, there are some situations that I believe we need to remove ourselves from, but I think those situations are very rare. I believe that every single day we're engaging with our partners, our friends, our family, our coworkers. These are people that we're going to be spending significant amounts of time with. And if we continue to run from those people, if we continue to run from those situations, then I believe we'll never learn what it's like to stay and stand. Ooh, that's good. I need to let that part breathe for a little minute. If we continue to run and elude and be evasive and backpedal and get quiet and be funny and concede the moment, if we continue to do all of these things that are essentially not leaning in but leaning out, then I don't think we get to know ourselves. I don't think we get to know the people that we engage. I don't know that we get to establish boundaries or be firm in what we believe. And I'm not saying you got to die on every hill. Please do not argue every single moment. But I think there is some benefit. There's some value. There's some growth. There's some expansion. There's an evolution when we lean in to hard and difficult things. It's the same way that we build muscle when we push weight. It's the same way that we build confidence when we do the hard thing, when we stand up and we talk and we say the things and we hold firm to what we believe in. When we do those things, we build a social muscle. We build a spiritual muscle. We get firm and confident when we lean into those areas and we don't continue to run. We don't continue to be elusive or evasive. So for you all, I don't know what it is. I'm calling you out. I'm calling you to the carpet. I'm pulling your card. If you are the type of person that runs when the situation gets tough, when things get thick, I'm not talking about physical danger. I'm not talking about those things. I'm saying in general conversation and normal everyday conflict, I want to encourage you to not go run an errand, but to lean in to the situation. I want you to lean in to that moment. I guarantee you, not only are you going to learn more about yourself, but you're going to learn about the people that you engage, and you're going to learn how to navigate these situations a bit more smoothly. Just leaning in, right? I don't know, if you could visually, just right now with me, imagine a storm or like wind, just a hurricane, just a tornado, I don't know, any massive force that's trying to move you off of your spot, right? I want you to imagine for a moment that there's just something just coming against you, blowing against you, and I want you to just right foot, left foot, just dig in deep and just ankle deep in the dirt, in the sand, in the grass, whatever you can do, and I want you to physically lean in. Oh, I hope you're driving your car leaning close to your steering wheel right now. I hope you're standing at the sink, washing your dishes, just leaning in toward the sink. I hope I'm getting a physical response as I'm describing this. Not only do I want you to visualize physically you leaning into that hard situation, but I want you to visualize the situation in which you're leaning. Number one, I want you to commit to leaning. Number two, let's visualize what that situation is. Maybe you always back down from mom or dad. Maybe you're really passionate about something. Maybe you really believe in something. Maybe it's your siblings. Maybe your siblings treat you a certain way because of whatever reason, and you always laugh it off, or you always, oh, girl, you crazy. Oh, man, bro, you crazy. You just kind of brush it off and you don't lean into it. Maybe you're having those tough conversations at work where you have an idea that you want to push, or you have an envelope that you want to push, or risk you want to take, or maybe your boss or your coworkers are being dismissive and you really feel passionately about something, I want you to lean in. Maybe it's some community things or some neighbors that are doing some things. Maybe there's a situation at school, whatever it is. Maybe it's a romantic situation that you're involved in that you really want to say something about, and you've been laughing it off for too long, and you've been walking around each other in the kitchen, and you've been conceding the moment and conceding the week and conceding the whatever it is. I want you, right foot, left foot, I want you to twist those ankles and just get deep in that sand and that dirt and that grass, and I want you to lean into that conversation, because I think when you lean in and you focus on what you want to say and how you feel and what you're trying to communicate, not only will you learn more about yourself, not only will you learn about the people that you're engaging, but I think you'll learn how, most importantly, to navigate those situations. I would encourage you to not run errands. Don't you go run an errand. Don't you laugh if it's not funny. Don't you do it. Don't you brush it off if it's sticking to you. I want you to double down. I want you to lean in. Don't run errands, because when you do, if you run once, you'll run twice. If you run twice, you'll run 3 times. And I don't want you to be a runner. I want you to be someone who turns and faces and feels confident in what you believe. I want you to figure out what you want to say and how you want to say it. And I want you to say the thing. Hold firm. Be strong. Don't run errands. Thanks again for listening to another episode of My Life of List, hosted by yours truly, Derek Sire, powered by Paradigm Shift, recorded in the Possibility Studios. Signing off until next time.
Don't let that small moments pass you. Grab you a pen and a pad. Life is moving too fast. Slow down, live you a life of list.